You're watching the Batter Fans Network.
Welcome, everybody, to episode number 44 of the Battle Heat Fans Podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Ganana, and alongside me is usually Mr. Daniel Solana, but it looks like he might have slept in. He's honestly not missing much because this is going to be a short one because last night that was an embarrassment. Not too much to talk about, at least not positively. I mean, I'm sure we can go on forever criticizing this team, but the Miami Heat on the first trip of a 4-game road trip gets spanked by the Minnesota Timberwolves for the second time in 4 or 5 days, 122-94. After the first half, it really wasn't much competitive. Tyler Hero came back, and once I found out that he was officially coming back, I kind of knew they were going to lose. Not because I think Tyler Hero is the reason for losing, but because it just fits the narrative, right? Because everybody wants to see him go, even though he came off the bench and he had himself a decent game. I wouldn't say that he was probably one of those lone bright spots because he could hit some floaters, even though he had some bad misses at the rim, along with everybody else. I've said in the past that it's really weird. Jaime Jaquez and a lot of people, just the way that they miss shots at the rim is kind of odd. And yesterday it just was highlighted. The shooting was bad. The defense was bad. Khalil Ware looked lost. Bam Adebayo, for as much as people criticize Tyler Hero, and I love Bam, but as much as people criticize Tyler Hero because he can't play defense, at what point do we start criticizing Bam because he can't consistently play offense? Now, I understand that this new wrinkle that Spo kind of runs with much less pick and roll isn't necessarily conducive for Bam Adebayo's production because he's best playing off of the pick and roll and rolling to the basket or pick and pop. But I mean, he is the max player on this team. I would assume that the same hate that Tyler Hero gets, which I have seen some for Bam, and I'm not saying that I want to see more of it, right? I like Bam. I hope that he improves, but I'm just surprised that all the arrows get thrown at Tyler Hero, but Bam gets a pass. And I think it's because he's so good defensively that he gets a pass. They, oh, but he's so good defensively, he gets a pass. But man, he's the max player. And as a max player, you can't go out there and have 7 points. He blew by Rudy Gobert like on one of the first drives of the game. And you start thinking kind of like the first game he played against Rudy a couple days ago, right? He put Rudy in a spin cycle. He had him turning around. He hits a 3-point shot, I think it was, and then everybody's like, "Ooh, that's it. Bam's out for blood tonight," and then he gets spanked by Rudy. Again, same thing yesterday. 7 points. Your max player cannot end up with 7 points. And I get Rudy Gobert is a good defender, but 7 points, you can't even get to double digits. And the majority of the team didn't get to double digits. We had Norman Powell, which had 21 points, and 6 of those came in the first minute of the game. He had 2 threes in the first minute of the game, and after that, he had 15 points the rest of the game. He had one 3-pointer the rest of the game. You had Andrew Wiggins, who got to 10 points, and then you had Tyler Hero with 17. Nobody else got into double digits. This was a really bad performance. Khalil Ware looked lost. He had a really bad miss at the rim. Um, just I don't even know what else to say. This team is just lost. Um, just a poor performance, and this is kind of what people were telling me they expected the Heat to look like all year before the season started. Like this is what they expected, and I had higher hopes. And not only did I have higher hopes, once they started playing well in November, I kind of got brazy. I was like, you know what? I was right. I said that they would be better than what you guys are saying, and I was probably underestimating them. And you know what? I was wrong. I was wrong. They fooled me. They fooled me because they have these moments where they look good, like in Detroit, and I'm like, oh man, that's it. The Heat are back, and then they completely pooped the bed. Like it's really really bad how inconsistent. That's one thing you can expect from this Heat team this year is that they are consistently inconsistent, and it's very frustrating. Tyler Hero came off the bench, which I thought was a surprise. But after the game, I believe they asked him, and I don't think I'm misremembering it. Somebody in the comments can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they asked him how he felt about it. He said, whatever, it's basketball. You could ask the coach. I'm paraphrasing, but I believe that was more or less his tone. So we'll see where that goes because I'm sure that if he keeps coming off the bench, he won't be happy, and then that'll be a whole storyline in itself. But yeah, just a bad performance overall. Anthony Edwards wasn't sure if he was going to play. He ended up playing. He ended up playing very well. Didn't have to play the fourth quarter because by the then the game was basically over. And just a very piss poor performance. And that's the best way I could put it. Jaime Jaquez is still not back, and you know that that's a huge loss for the Miami Heat because he is, as he goes, the second unit goes, and as the second unit goes, often the team goes because our second unit, oftentimes when Jaime Jaquez is running it, outperforms the other second unit, and that really gives us an advantage. And looking at we're currently eighth. We're back in the play-in. We're eighth in the Eastern Conference, and coming up we have the Chicago Bulls tomorrow night. Then we have the Pacers on Saturday, the Thunder on Sunday. They're gonna spank us, and then we have the Suns, the Celtics, which are, I don't know what the hell happened to the Celtics. Jaylen Brown all of a sudden is playing out of his mind, and the Celtics are second in the East now. They surpassed the Knicks. And then we have the Thunder again at home on January 17th. So these are the next 6 games. The Bulls, I'm not even going to say we should beat them because I just don't know what to expect from the Heat. Then the Pacers are so bad, we better beat them. And then we have the Thunder, we're going to get smacked. The Suns, we're going to get smacked. The Celtics, I hate to get smacked by the Celtics, but we're going to get smacked by the Celtics. And then the Thunder, we're going to get smacked by them. Now, I know if Solana was here, he'd tell me to calm down and no, we're going to win some of these games. Well, Solana's not here, and I'm telling you, we're going to get smacked the majority of these games because the Heat are really pissing me off. The how inconsistent they can be. They didn't get to 100 points. Like, I don't know. I don't know what has happened with this team for them to turn it around. They shot 32% from three. How many turnovers did they have? Because they were turning the ball over left and right. They had 17 turnovers. It's just bad. It's just a bad look overall. And Nikolai Jovic was the worst plus minus -26. Pelle Larsson -25, and Pelle Larsson, he's always looks good even when he's not scoring. I'm not gonna poop on him. Just a bad night overall, and I'm gonna leave it at that. It's a short show, but again, not many positives to talk about. Solana wasn't here. We're the 8th seed. We're about to get smacked up a couple more times, and I guess we'll be back to talk about the post game after the Bulls, which should be tomorrow's Thursday, so Friday morning. So we'll be back for that. I hope you guys. Don't let go of the rope because it's still a young season. I know I just said we're going to get smacked up, but I mean, now that I look at it, 20-17, 37 games, and we're not even halfway through the season. It's just, man, it's so frustrating. It's just so frustrating to see this team be so inconsistent. But we'll see. After the Detroit win, you expect, okay, this is where we're going to get rocking and rolling, but we get the complete opposite, which is very frustrating, but whatever. All right, if you're listening on audio, please leave us 5 stars and a comment. If you watch on YouTube, like and subscribe, and we'll be back to talk about the Bulls on Friday. So until the next one, have a good one.